Hello and welcome to Disenchanted Forest. I am your dungeon master, Chad Meadows, and with me are these daring adventurers. Starting to my left, we have Seth Davis, Cory Hogel,
Hello.
Dylan Vaness,
Hello.
David Simpson, and Paul Talada.
Huzzah.
Hello.
Huzzah.
These daring adventurers are here for one thing, to see if they can survive the trek through Ibrahim's forest. There's only one way to find out, though, so...
Skip to the end.
Yeah, just skip to
That's
the
what we
end.
do in
Don't-
books, right?
Don't watch, just skip to the very end.
We did it.
All right, perfect.
Can I roll for that?
Yeah,
All right, let's go. We'll start it off. We're not going to make it.
we're not gonna make it.
Unlucky number.
Well, hopefully, you'll have better chances as we start. So we begin on the planet Adar. It is a very similar planet to our own. A lot of grass, water, things like that. We begin in Faustonia, a realm of humans ran by the theocracy of the Faustonian religion, headed by Benvolio Dendario, the King Pope. We are actually in the southwest corner of Faustonia in what is officially referred to as Ibrahim's Forest. It is Ibrahim, the villain who was toppled during the Faustonian come to civilization. They had to fight off the monsters. Ibrahim was their leader, as we all know. We are in Ibrahim's Forest, which has now been renamed Dundaria. We are one day's travel in is Fort Fendrel, where all of you are. Fort Fendrel was the last kind of major fort inside of the forest to stage the final waves of the kind of uprising or the fight against Ibrahim. And that is where we begin, is Fort Fendrel. As we go down, we see Fort Fendrel is a very sprawling metropolis. You can move that piece. In the center here, we have caravans. It is a very busy morning. It's about 6 a.m. and people are already out and about rustling to and fro because it is going to be a very big day. In the past 6 months, Fort Fendrel has been under siege by a magical witch who has just appeared from nowhere and made very devious claims against the fort and has kind of thwarted any attempts to leave. And as one last-ditch effort, this large caravan of soldiers, civilians, and the like are going to make a trek out of the woods to try to escape and get word to the greater area that Fort Fendrel needs help. We are going to begin, actually, in the chapel. In the chapel, we are having a ceremony where some of our enlisted men are graduating their boot camp. They're being brought in officially as soldiers of Dundaria. And we see, Paul, would you like to describe Edric for us?
All right, so you see a man in the king's armor, blonde hair, 6 foot tall, kind of hulking, with a small mustache. Am I allowed to have a cigar at this ceremony?
It's a commercial town.
We'll say you're...
I have a cigar.
You definitely smoked one before.
Yeah.
You definitely smoked one before you got there. But right now, we'll say you're not smoking, as you are being enlisted. Finally, you've finished your boot camp training, and with you giving the ceremony is. The Meister up here is performing it. But actually performing the ceremony and giving you the emblem of your holy symbol is Captain Coldwater. Chelsea Coldwater, who is a captain of the guard. She's one of your trainers in this. And another soldier, his name is Byron Mandrake, Captain Mandrake. He is definitely more of the drill sergeant type, definitely a hard ass. Most people do not like Byron Mandrake. And behind them is Captain Hodgepodge, Sir Hodgepodge, who the three of them are kind of going through and talking to all the different officers, and they get to you. And Byron goes, huh. Officer Jude,
It was a pleasure.
never thought this day would come.
Never hoped this day.
We'll see if you can get out of the enlisted status and join us here as officers one day. I don't have super high hopes.
It's all right. You won't be in position when I arrive.
Do you swear fealty to our King Rufio Dondario to fight with your honor and your life until your dying breath?
Absolutely.
Perfect. He takes a step over and Chelsea Coldwater approaches. She pins a little bit of, or she pins the insignia onto your armor. Roll an insight for me.
Not starting off great.
It just doesn't see him.
4.
For some reason, she seems kind of mad at you. I don't know what it is. She seems very unpleased that you're graduating and going to be fighting alongside her for some reason. And she pins her insignia on you, and they move on to the next. And Hodgepodge walks by and looks at you and goes, Hodgepodge? And he just continues to move on.
He says his own name.
He's kind of a simple guy. He's not, things happen, you know, he's not quite all there, but he's a strong lad and he's a good fighter, so they keep him. He's a good dude. After the ceremony, so they host the ceremony, all the soldiers go through kind of the same thing, they get the insignia. After the ceremony, is there anywhere you would like to go or anyone you'd kind of like to approach?
Where are things happening? I'm assuming they're not happening.
So this is the chapel, but the actual barracks is over here. So over here we have the 2 barracks where all the enlisted men stay, and then there's the training grounds and armory, which are the armory is up over here, and then the training grounds.
Where's the smoking area?
There is actually a small grassy area over here that's kind of not a park, but more of just a natural feature.
Can't just go outside.
If you would like to
I would just immediately
right
go
out
outside.
front. So you see the chapel here is strategically placed to where soldiers from Fort Fendrel can enter one way, and then you can exit out to the people. So you can either smoke in this back alleyway that's more inside the actual fort proper, or you can smoke out in the
Right
main square, right where all the people are.
Main square.
Main square. Yeah, so you're gonna move out into the main square and just light up a fresh cigar.
Glorious day.
You see Captain Coldwater approaches you again and goes, here are your orders. And she hands you a roll. You're going to be with us on the caravan today. I hope you've come ready for anything.
I have.
It is quite dangerous out there. The witch is not to be trifled with, and I've even heard rumors last night that the scouting party that we sent met with a very devastating end. So be on your guard.
Okay. What kind of end?
That I don't know. But I've heard some rumors and only one returned.
Fun. Can't wait.
And with that, she turns and her and Hodgepodge head into the military caravans to kind of get things started.
I stare politely.
You and we leave that encounter, and we are going to head up through the Times Square over here, and all the way into the castle of Rufio's Keep, into the back rooms. Actually, there's a secret back room that not very many people know of, and it is the meeting place of the Guild Laborers Union. In the Guild Laborers Union, we see a small little halfling His name is Bushel Halfsprig. He is reading the minutes from the last Guild Laborers Union. And he says, those are the last minutes of the Guild Laborers Union. Now we shall take roll. Please say here if you are present. Jaren Hofstadt, you see as this very beefy, very ornate, lots of gilded golds and runic stones, and this very beefy dwarf bangs on the table. Here. Oh, okay. Dr. Podrick Brown, as this very wizenly old man with this very long, kind of flared out gray mustache and this kind of crazy psycho hair and these goggles. Oh, yes, here. Oh, all right. You kind of see he pauses and he kind of giggles for a moment and he goes, Fortnight? As there's nothing. There's just absolute silence, and there's a very empty chair with cobwebs and things on it, and everybody in the room just kind of kind of chuckles at the fact that there's no artist formerly known as Fortnite in the Guild Laborers Union. He also says, what about Phyllis? And you see this little old lady, very old, probably 90s, very old, just weaving away, knitting a little scarf.
That scares me.
Doesn't say a word. She just continues knitting. And Bushel looks up, sees her, and just goes, okay, she's still here. Finally, Bushel goes, and finally the chamber leader, Gucci Flip-Flops. Dylan, would you like to describe Gucci for us?
Gucci. Gucci Flip-Flops is a kind of a rather taller, slender person. Big, round hat, big, long, flowing hair, dressed in kind of like a tunic, full length, as well as long pants. But at the end, everybody can't help but notice his immaculate feet. Absolutely beautiful, well polished, taken care of, and of course, those gorgeous flip-flops right on top of him. And he says, present.
Those are the members of the Guild Laborers Union. On behalf of the kingdom, say present if here, Meister Aman. Once again, dead silence. There's 3 chairs, more ornate. There's the way the Guild Laborers Union works is it's union members of all the different guilds in town, and these are their representatives. There is a side of the room that is their table, and then there's a side of the room that is the kingdom's representation. And Master Aman is not there. I would say Master Aman.
You did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Go with it.
Yeah, might as well. Aberdeen is his name. Meister Aberdeen. And there's nobody there. Bushel kind of coughs and... Meister, Grand Wizard Asior? Dead silence. Nobody's there. And finally he goes, the King, Rufio Dondario! And the door opens, the king walks in very, very hurriedly. Yes, I'm here. Let's make this quick. It's a busy day. And he sits down and kind of looks and goes, sees that Aberdeen and Asior, his right and left hand man, are not at the meeting, and just kind of is like, all right, this is going to be a bad day. All right, I'm here. What are we meeting about? As you know, we have this caravan ahead of us. This is our one meeting of the month, so let's make it quick. Bushel then goes, the only notes I have are, there's been some destruction of property from the witch. She's killed some herds and some other properties. Would you like to take from here our terms, Mr. Flip-Flops?
Yes, yes. Thank you for passing the floor, Mr. Bushel. My entire business, my empire, my prized calves have been ripped to shreds from this witch bitch. There is no other course of action besides simply to take vengeance on her. We must rid the town of this person forever, so our trade and prosperity and our community and our kingdom, definitely the kingdom, can continue to live without any interruption, and we can live in peace and harmony. I personally will look to try and volunteer on this caravan as a symbol of my devotion for this city.
You said prized calves, and I immediately thought you were talking about your legs. You're going straight from the feet to the legs.
Slowly work up the body.
You see as roll an insight check for me, please, for Gucci.
Oh, nice.
17. I guess plus we're adding our 5. 22.
20.
Dirty 22.
A very dirty 22.
Yes.
You see as the king is very, very visibly moved by your your performance there, and goes, I mean, yeah, I greatly appreciate your sacrifice and your willingness to take this daring mission, Sir Flip-Flops, but as far as what we as a kingdom can do, all I can do is send soldiers out. I can't force people to go and try to kill this witch for us. I mean, what? You want me to put a bounty on her head? That's ridiculous.
If you put a bounty, maybe that will inspire. But you continue this witch shenanigans, those issues, will you have a kingdom left? I would consider this a top priority of the kingdom.
I will talk to Master Aberdeen, see how much money we have left to offer as a bounty. But if we don't have large sums because we're strapped already running this kingdom, do you have any other suggestions? Any other things we could propose as a bounty?
I would imagine if we could have free trade amongst the people, if you allow me a little bit more influence around the town, I can probably drum up some support within the union and the guild's laborers, as well as the soldiers. If you can probably have them look towards me as a way to try and initiate this reaction, instead of a bounty, but the promise of glory and prosperity, that could potentially drum up some support for the cause.
Roll a performance.
I liked it. I'm on board.
Another one.
22
Wow.
again.
He's rolling hot.
He just looks and goes, yeah, sure, fine, whatever. It's like my own men couldn't even see fit to come to this. So, sure.
Do I have your blessing of a title?
A title?
A title.
What title are you trying to go for, Mr. Flip-Flops?
Royal
Okay, go high.
Royal Entrepreneur Premier of the city as acting on your behalf.
It's not gonna fit on.
Let's see,
Take
how do we...
take out the words royal and on my behalf. I'll make you an executive director.
Premier executive director. Sounds
Sure.
great.
Sure, premier executive director, fine.
Okay.
You're feel free.
Comma royal.
Okay. All right, that's fine. Do we have anything else to talk about? I feel like no. Anybody?
Can you announce that to the city, or at least put the... We need to spread the word so my authority is recognized.
Perhaps a flyer.
Perhaps a flyer, a memo of sorts.
An email.
Fine. We'll see if we can make a memo.
A raven?
Don't push your luck. You know all of our ravens were killed when we tried to send for help.
Settle down.
We'll get a memo drummed up.
Okay.
We'll make it. Okay.
Premier Executive
All right.
Director.
Are we good here? Am I done? Request to adjourn? Me? Okay. Aye. All in favor? You
Your
see
Highness.
as immediately Jordan hits the table, Bushel's like, everybody's kind of up with the signs to adjourn, because this is the Guild Labor's Union they don't like meeting. The point of it is to meet as little as possible. So, anything else, Mr. Flip Flops? No?
We should be good. Thank you, good sir.
All right, thank you.
Your Highness.
Hey, and you see as he kind of looks at the 2 empty chairs and goes, where and he gets up and he storms out of the room. We are going to leave that, and we are actually going to travel to the other side of the map, over to the stables. And here,
Oh no.
here we actually see Grandmaster Aberdeen. He skipped.
That's not what I was expecting.
He skipped the meeting to come over here, and he's Grandmaster Aberdeen. He's wearing his typical Meister robes. He is the head of the military of this location. So since it is a theocracy, the way the military works, it is both religion and government. So he is the head priest. He is also the general. So he's kind of in charge of both spiritual and physical defense, if you will. And he is kind of an older gentleman walking through, very clean cut, very short, kind of what you would expect of a priest. And he's wearing like a priestly robe, but with definitely heavy armor underneath, very, very stout chainmail, and no weapons. He is just walking through, and he comes through, and he's walking into the stables, and he walks to a stable marked Trojan, and inside, David, would you like to describe Troy Ilias for us?
Well, Troy is a concept. This is a weird concept because last night he was a relatively young man, a scout, very slender build, very fast. About ear-length dark hair, very voluminous. He uses his products as needed. Light brown skin-ish. And he's an avid rider. And take that as you will. And but he seems to have come upon an unfortunate accident, as I believe Master Aberdeen is about to walk into.
Yeah, Aberdeen walks in, and you're in the stable,
Yes.
which, as you said, you were a part of the scout party last night that we've previously heard about with disastrous.
The only
ending.
returner.
The only one to return. And when you came in, they didn't know what to do with you, because you are not what you were when you left.
Yes.
And so the only thing they could think to do was to just kind of hide you in the stables, the only place fit
Yes.
for your new physical form. So you are in currently the stable where you would previously keep your horse, Trojan.
Yes.
And Aberdeen walks in and can see you above, and then he turns the corner to the opening to now see your newly horse-formed body.
Below the belt level, I am the most magnificent thoroughbred in the entire kingdom.
And
Nothing's changed.
roll a perception for me.
Well, a 9.
A 9. He seems very unfazed by what he's looking, almost as if he does this all the time. You cannot tell, you cannot read on his face what his reaction to you is. But he turns the corner, and here is Grandmaster Aberdeen, the head, your general, who you've met with a few times, and he just goes, Yes, I was informed. How I know this is not glamorous, but how was the evening? We tried to make it a little more comfy. You see, they stacked up more hay to kind of
Oh no.
build a bed, make it a little they did what they could.
Grandmaster Aberdeen, I appreciate your accommodations. I don't have a taste for hay, but I do appreciate that you gave it your best to try.
Oh, that was to sleep on. Oh, we have soup coming. It was in the mess, but I've sent somebody to bring to you.
Forgive me, Grandmaster. I've been out of sorts since this unfortunate transformation. I sometimes find myself warring between man and horse.
He kind of okay. I'm going to level with you. This is magic I've never seen before. Whether or not it is reversible, we cannot say. I searched my books. I studied all night last night. I got no sleep because I was trying to find something to be done to fix this. But for now, I ask you, give me more time.
Grandmaster, have you ever encountered a centaur? I believe that is what I am. Have you ever encountered one of these creatures before?
I have not. I have heard of their existence, and in the forest, Ibrahim's forest. It's definitely possible that they exist, but to be made one through magic, I've not encountered this. I'm sorry.
Is he met with any distaste? Because aren't monsters non-human things not well met?
Yeah. So since the war was against monsters, the people who work alongside monsters now totally fine. But on a military level, there is kind of a distrust still of monsters. So that is kind of why, as soon as you showed up, they didn't really know what to do with you. Because it's like, well, he's still one of ours, but is he still one of ours?
He's tainted.
Yeah.
So they kind of put you off to the way. And this happened yesterday. This happened last night. So they're really kind of scrambling to figure out, that's why the Meister was in his study just trying to figure out how to undo. Because it's like, it's easy. If we can just get it, fix it, we don't have to worry about it. So now, now that they know they can't really fix it, well, what do we do?
Grandmaster, I've prayed unceasingly since I've come back. I hope that Adar shines a light on the solution to this issue.
I've prayed all night as well, and in faith in Adar, we can achieve.
Yes.
And I will continue to study and to pray, and I hope that Adar will guide and lead. But that brings me to kind of the reason I'm here in a pressing matter. We are still trying to figure out what to be done. But with that, you were the only one to survive from last night's scout. And with that, we were hoping that you could still lead the charge today. I know it's kind of a gross request to ask after going through what you've gone through, but you've encountered the witch. You've seen her. You've experienced her ability, and I hate to do this, but we are very all hands on deck is kind of the best way, and I'm here to request you to join the caravan today as part of them, and hopefully still lead the charge out.
I would never refuse a request from you, Grandmaster, but what of the other men? Surely, in my current state, I'd be adverse to working with me.
We'll deal with the other men. You have nothing to worry about. We'll make sure that you'll be fine.
Well then, by Adar's will, I will. But if I could make one request, Trojan, it had been a while since I had reshoed him, and I was wondering if the Master of Horse, at some point before we leave, could,
reshoe. Yeah, of
Yes.
course. Absolutely.
Yes.
Well, I'll get with him. I believe he's not too busy this morning. Getting arms and things ready into the caravan. So I'll talk to him. And
if
see
he could bring a brush as well.
Absolutely. With that, Aberdeen
Yes.
turns and walks away, and will actually go and seek out the master of the armor and talk to them about reshoeing you and potentially bringing a brush.
That's so cool.
A fair maiden as well.
A whole way. He unfurls the scroll.
I don't know about a fair maiden, but shortly after, somebody bringing soup does, and they don't come in, they just leave. You see a hand just come in and drop a bowl of soup and turn and leave as everybody is kind of too scared to enter the stables right now.
Fair enough.
There's not even other horses in the stables. They emptied the stables of the horses last night
so-
and left you in there alone.
If that had come up, I actually had I would have said that would probably been for the best.
On that note,
Control the
speaking of horse instincts, we travel back to the castle as we go into the top tower. The way that Zendaria, or the way that Fort Fendrel is connected to Rufio's Keep, which is the name of the castle that is attached, built on later to establish the monarch. It is actually on an elevated position, so it's hard to tell from this two-dimensional map, but the castle kind of snakes up a hill and then into a larger keep. And in the back northmost corner of that is the Wizard's Study, a large area of magic and almost set up like a university, like a school. And there's a few rooms for teaching and a laboratory to do experiments, and then a very large and glamorous back bedroom. And we actually see there's a hallway leading to it from the castle, and we see King Rufio Dondario storming, leaving the GLU meeting, the Guild Laborers Union meeting, storming down that hallway as he gets to the front door, and the servant who always follows him around just kind of runs up ahead and starts banging on the door and starts yelling in, "Make way for King Rufio Dondario!" Just banging on the door, tries it, the door's locked, starts banging. And inside the room, Cory, would you like to describe Asior for us?
How early in the morning is it?
6 a.m.
Okay, it's too early. So Asior is a much older gentleman. He's like in his 80s. He has a very long white beard and stash that's very full. He's currently he sleeps naked. So he's currently in his room, and he hears the door. He probably doesn't hear who it is though, for his hearing is not great. And so he sits there for 10 minutes and richly casts Unseen Servant to get the door. It's just like, all right. And he gets out a book and sits there for 10 minutes. Where is that spell? It's so hard to read. What? Spectacles! Spectacles, where are they? I'll just mage hand and it starts like feeling around for where my glasses are. Ah, there we go. Unseen servant. Wait a moment. It's rushing me. You see as one of your students actually.
Don't go in that room.
Which student do I want to do? Not Donnie, the tiefling student you have, actually goes and grabs your spectacles and brings them to you. And goes, here you go,
Thank you,
Professor Asua.
Truly an unseen servant.
Shall I fetch the door?
No. I will do that in 10 minutes.
It sounds important. It's the king.
Oh!
They're still banging this man, and every
To make it 10 minutes, but...
Fine.
Go get it.
for every minute, the servant is getting more like frantic and like the king.
What was it? Let him struggle. You can get this done. That'll be fine.
Not Donnie goes and opens up the door. Since you did not give anything other than just open up the door, the king immediately just barges through, goes all the way through the lab, through your bath, and into your bedroom.
I'm starting to stand up and I'm still naked. Just spectacles.
Does the beard cover?
It's pretty close.
Close.
Not enough to
Not
cover,
enough.
but it's close.
It
He
tries
just
best.
hangs low, you know? It's not that long.
It didn't take us long to get to full.
The king walks in and goes,
Hello, little Rufy. How are you today?
"Is this where you've been? We were
Yes.
supposed to have a GLU meeting, and I'm the only one there. How is it that I, the king, am the only one to represent the kingdom at the Guild Neighbors Union?"
I did not prepare my alarms, though. That is on me. I forgot. And last night was interesting. So just need a little bit of sleep is all. Hope it wasn't too much of a bother. Where's my robes? Can you grab that for me? It's over by the door.
He looks at the robes and he just goes, "Servant," and the freaked out servant just kind of sprints in, looks around, sees you naked, goes, "Ah!" and like grabs the robes and throws them at you.
Thank you.
As he and then immediately like runs out.
Is he new?
I don't know. Who knows these days? I think his family was killed by the witch. I
terrible.
don't remember.
Who's the witch? Who's a witch?
The witch.
The
We've talked about this so many times. Monsieur.
witch.
The witch.
Oh no. See that?
Also, you mentioned last night. I heard a weird. Did you fall out of the window last night?
No, I did not fall. It was purposeful. I had to get there quickly.
You jumped out of the
I
towers.
ziplined. For whatever reason,
we-
someone put a zip line in my balcony, so I was able to do so.
He kind of thinks to himself and mumbles like, "Roll an insight."
Oh wow, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. 19.
You actually hear him mutter under his breath, "Did we install a zip line? Why did they? Oh,
You know, I don't know. I don't know why you would give an old man a zip line, but it was fun until it wasn't.
yeah. Okay. Well,
I had my boots. You know, it'd be different, but look at them. As the wings are just like.
yeah. You're back in the day, your winged boots that you used for quite a bit
Sad, like an old dog.
have definitely, there's like feathers are missing off the wings and they're kind of decrepit and they don't wave at the same frequency anymore, so it's kind of like lopsided and flopsy. The king is just very, you can tell, is very kind of, a lot's going on today and they just do not want to deal with you as they normally do. So the king just goes, Look, Asior, I want to level with you. You were a great friend of my father's, and he spoke very highly of you. My uncle, on the other hand, the King Pope.
Oh, I love the King Pope.
Oh, yes. He gave me a different warning about you when you were assigned to be my right-hand wizard. I have decided to follow my father, and I like you. I think you're great. We've had a great amount of fun and had a good time these past 10 years working, or 2 years working together.
I was about to say, it's been 10.
I've been here for 10. It feels like 100. The past 2 years, we've had fun working together, but I need to make a big request of you today.
All right. Go on.
This witch.
The witch.
The witch.
The witch.
I need your help. It has been requested by the people that we kill this witch. Hasior, I hate to do this, but I need to make a request of you today.
And you would hate to give me a request? What is this? What's happening?
You're in the time we've been together, we've had fun. I remember as a young boy watching as you would come through and do magic, and my father and you were friends. My uncle, not a huge fan of yours, the King Pope, but my father for sure. My mother for sure was a huge fan of yours.
Yes, I did miss her every day.
Yeah. My father always.
In what way?
My father always told me if I needed help, you were not the most dependable, but always the most assured, if that makes sense. With this witch, there are bad things happening, and I need powerful people to take down powerful enemies. I know last we spoke you were not joining the caravan, but the people are clamoring, the GLU is clamoring.
GLU.
Would you join the caravan, you and your students, and be there to protect and to ward and to help get out? It's heading north. It's heading to Shaman's Keep. So, if anything, it's a free ride to back to Shaman's Keep. But it would please me and the people if you would join this caravan.
Let's see here. I'm gonna reach over and grab my ring. Put my ring on. Well, since you asked so nicely, little Rufio, I will see the caravan first, see what we're working with, and I'll make a decision from there. If it is truly something that you need my assistance with, I will do my best.
Thank you. I've already taken the liberty of ensuring, in case you did join, enough carts for you and all of your students.
Oh, wonderful.
Yes.
Speaking of, now Donnie, you still around?
Not Donnie pops in. Her and let me pull up this. Nyx.
Nyx.
Both kind of. You see Nyx through the door as not Donnie opens the back door into the kind of the student teaching room, and goes, yes, Asior?
Could you fetch my old adventuring equipment, please? Should be
The ones that work, or all of them?
all of them,
Okay.
I think.
Uh,
Which ones work and which ones don't? Give me the boots, anyways.
He just looks over and just.
Not Donnie and Nyx get together and with all the other students, they start to run through and grab all of your, like, famed adventuring gear.
Oh yeah, it's like a Iron Man scene where I'm just walking through and they just put it on.
They just, absolutely, as they just put, you've done this 100 times before, even though you've never gone adventuring again. Like, you just teach them, like, so when I do this, and they know how to dress you perfectly. And lastly, your big golden brazen chest piece that it looks like a shredded, just buff man. They just says that and then put your hat on.
It's heavier than I remember, but it will work.
The king starts to walk out the door, and you see that the little shrimpy servant has just been standing patiently at the door, like very on his point. And he opens the door very dramatically for the king, and the king stops and turns to you and goes, "Please, Asior, for me, for the kingdom,
For the King Pope.
For the King Pope.
Ah, the day. Also, you little servant, you need to relax. You're like stressing me. Calm down. Just calm.
Okay, I'm calm. I'm quite calm. Am I fired?
You're about to be. Keep it up. Calm down.
The king just kind of laughs as he, come on, and he walks out and quickly shut the door behind you. We leave this scene to head. Sorry, I put my thing up. We leave this scene to head to the tavern. As in the tavern, we see there is a large portly fellow. He's very dark features, dark skin, very lavish, purplish clothes. Everybody, so in this temperate climate, it's a forest, so it's a little close near the mountains, a little cold, so everybody wears, like wools and furs. This guy wears like silks and linens. He is definitely from the east side of Faustonia, which is savannah, there's deserts, it's a little more hot. But he's wearing a very large onion-shaped hat with very decorative, comes to a point. And this is Aldrin Kismet. Aldrin Kismet is walking through the bar, and he comes to a booth in the very back corner where this young man is sitting, and he sits down and he goes, "Ha ha! I hear you're looking for a bounty hunter." As this man across the way, this very young guy, patchy, kind of scraggly beard, long, curly, unkempt hair, wearing like all browns, but multiple shades of brown, so it's very loud and somehow neutral at the same time. It's like, "Yeah, man, yeah, we're looking for a bounty hunter." He goes, "Oh, you come to the right place. Aldrin Kismet's the name. I run the Bounty Hunter Guild." He goes, "Oh, you're part of the GLU?" And he goes, No, we're not allowed to join the GLU. Apparently the king doesn't think bounty hunting is a noble profession, so we kind of have to operate on our own. We definitely can still do what we do, but we don't get much respect or help from the king." He goes, "Oh man, no, I get that. No, down with the GLU, they suck, bro. They're horrible." And he's like, "Yeah. Anyways, what do you need? Tell me. What are you searching for?" And he goes, "Yeah, man, I need you to kill the artist formerly known as Fortnite." And immediately Kismet's like, whoa, like, we don't kill, we're not assassins, we're bounty hunters, right? We'll bring him to justice, we'll capture him, we'll bring him in. He goes, "Oh no, man, that doesn't work for me. I need him dead. It has to be dead." Because it's like he's looking around for guards, making sure like nobody's overhearing this. He goes, That's not how we work, okay? We don't kill people. We bring people who need to be brought in." He goes, "Do you know what? I've got the perfect guy for you. Stick, get over here." And Seth, would you like to describe Stick?
Stick is about roughly a 3 foot tall purple grung, and he's kind of wearing a lot of dark clothing, kind of leather. He has like a old style like cape that is like a hood, like he can completely like cover himself in, and he's got a little satchel on his side, and then he's got would be very small weapons for most people, but they're kind of large for him because he's so small. On his back, he's got a rapier and a dagger, and he's kind of quiet.
But does he run over and join?
Yeah, he very comically too. He kind of like waddles over.
Is there like a slapping sound?
Yeah, it's very.
So Stick comes over and sits beside Kismet, and Kismet's like, "This is my man Stick. he's very good at the, you know, when we say wanted alive or dead. He's very good at the second part, if you catch my drift. And the artist goes, oh yeah, man, cool, that's good. And Kismet goes, by the way, like, why are we trying to go after Fortnite? Like, what's the point with going after him? I didn't even know he was even around here. And the artist's like, yeah, man, that's the problem. So, you know, I'm part of the Artists Alliance here in Fendrel. You know, like, Fendrel is an up-and-coming place for artists. So we decided we were going to come down here. We were going to start, you know, making new art, doing the landscapes of the forest. And, you know, my girl Janet, she was going to totally hook us up with, like, we had it all going. And we started to see kind of how things worked around here, and that the kingdom kind of supplied money through the GLU to the other guilds. So we thought, like, we'll do our own artist guild, and that'd be great. And so we were going to get Janet. We were going to vote her in. And then the night before the vote, Fortnite happened to just wander through. Like, I mean, you know about Fortnite. You know his deal, right? And Kiz was like, no, please. And like, he goes, yeah, Fortnite is just this, like, wandering artist who he shows up at a place. Nobody knows his real name. Nobody even knows he's a dude. Like, we don't know. But they show up at a place. Supposedly they're there for 2 weeks, just kind of sneaking through, surveying, and then they just make, on the last night, they just make this beautiful, insane mural that just encapsulates the whole kingdom in one just breathtaking piece. The night before the vote, Fortnite did a mural here. And immediately after, everybody on the day of the vote was so taken back, they all voted for him to be the leader of the union, of the artist union. Which I got it, bro. I voted for him too. It was pretty sick. Like, it was a cool mural, man. Like, do you remember? Do you remember the mural? And Kiz was. I mean, this has been like 2 years since this has happened. Kismet's like, no, man, I've only been here like 6 months. He goes, oh yeah, no. So what it was this like picture perfect, like photorealistic. They don't have photos. Perfect imitation, lifelike imitation of the king. Like, it looked just like him, but it was like 8 feet tall. It was perfect. It was on the side of the kingdom. And then it had, like, a flying bass, and it was taking a mad shit on the king's head. It was just right onto his head. It was crazy. And, like, as the artists of the world, like, we saw that. You know, a lot of the people, they'll tell you that what that means is, like, you know, we as the people should, like, kind of overthrow the ruling class, and we are just like flying spirit beings who should kind of, you know, you've heard the term shit rolls uphill. We should kind of, you know, get above and shit on the ruling class. That's what a lot of people thought. I knew what it really meant. What it really meant is the king is a shit for brains, and he is a dummy, and we should not listen to that guy at all. But yeah, like, anyways, this amazing mural, it's still up, actually. Well, they painted over the bass and the poop. But, you know, the king's still there. It's still a wonder. You could go look at it. And Kismet's like, yeah, you idiot. Like, I've seen this many times. It's, you know. So we all voted. Anyways, the moral of the story is we all voted for Fortnite. And then he never showed up again. He moved on. He's doing who knows what. And because of that, we thought, oh, well, that's kind of bad. We don't have anybody to represent us in the GLU. So we protested and petitioned, tried to get my girl Janet back into the GLU. only to find out that guild labor union reps are voted in for life. And there's never a revote. You can't, once you're in, you're always in. And, you know, we tried to say, like, we're not being represented. We need to get our person in. They're like, well, Fortnite's your dude. You need to just get him to show up. And, you know, so we've been unfunded for 2 years. So we really, it's a matter of starving artist doesn't begin to cover. I ate a leaf on the way into the bar. I'm so hungry. In fact, I've been surveying the amount of tables that have left scraps, and I'm going to sneak around back when we're done with this meeting and eat out of the trash.
This is such a great motivation.
But please, for the sake of art, I don't have a lot of money. We, as artists, have scraped together as much money as we can, and we've got 15 gold. Could you please kill Fortnite for us so that the GLU is forced to give us another representative? We can get my girl Janet in there. And Kismet just kind of looks at Stick. Stick, what kind of energy are you giving off of this?
This whole time, Stick is like sat on the floor with his like legs sprawled out, and he's pulled out a piece of parchment and just like a piece of like charcoal that he has. He's been drawing, and he just lifts up and he smiles.
I am actually gonna roll an insight to see. Wow, with a natural 15 and 16, both Kismet and the artist completely understand. I believe that means you will kill Fortnite for the artist.
Someone had to do it.
And the artist is like, far out, man. Hey, you should join the Artists Alliance. We could use somebody of your talents. You really... It's your lines, you know? It wasn't a very complex piece, but your line work is impeccable, man. I really got a sense of what you were trying to tell us through your lines. You got a good hand and a good eye, my guy. Kismet's just kind of shaking his head. He goes, all right, well, normally, you know, we get paid after, but since this is a specialty case, we're going to need the gold up front.
Stick waddles over to him and just kind of pulls on his coat.
He goes, oh yeah, of course, man, of course. Yeah, here's everything, and he takes out 15 gold, and he goes, here's everything the Artists Alliance has. So like, you seem like good, trustworthy people. I trust you to make this a reality, okay? And he puts it, and he goes to hand it to you, and Kismet's like, like here, and he
Can I grab for it?
Yeah, make a contested strength.
Strength, not sleight of hand?
Are you trying to sneak a piece while he's handing coins, or are you trying to like grab the coins?
I'm trying to grab it before him, not...
It's, the guy has them in his hands. He's moving them.
I'm trying to snatch it.
That's a strength.
I'll do it anyways.
Oh,
What is that?
15.
I don't have a strength modifier, so 15.
With my natural 15 roll as well, it is a tie as the two of you
Tie
begin
goes to the runner.
a tug of war over the gold, and then you just like pry the money out of his hands as and Kismet goes, hey, I'll get it from him later. He goes, all right, that's good doing business with you. And the guy goes, hey, like, why do they call you Stick, man?
I just pull my dagger off, and I start to like walk, like just starting to move towards him.
Like, bro, okay, bro, I get it. As Kismet's like, hey, put that up, get over here. He's like, kind of summons you back over. And the guy's like, all right, you guys guys seem pretty cool. I was a little nervous coming in here. You know, this is referred to as like the sketchy bar for some reason. But, you know, like, I really gotta get a good vibe from you guys, and I really think that this is gonna be great. You know, this is cool. Make a perception check for me. Kismet will do.
Oof. Total 7.
You don't see, but all of a sudden you start to hear like an uproar as people are starting to like, like a clamoring, almost like a celebrity has walked in.
Into this room or
Into the bar, and Kismet, you hear as Kismet goes, oh, just my luck, as you do eventually see this very garish, neon-colored, like purples and yellows and crazy looking, with this large glaive that emulates purple light, and walks in Nelson, your rival bounty hunter. And he's got this blonde bowl cut, blonde soul patch beard, bright blue eyes as he walks in. He walks by you and Kismet and goes, hey guys, what's up, man? Hey, high five, little buddy. And he goes to high five you.
he just looks at him and he has his arms crossed.
He still goes for the high five, so he just like slaps your arm. He's like, all right, and he just walks off as like people start to like bring him drinks and stuff as he just like walks over.
Steak wants to feel somehow like equal / included, so he goes up to the bar. Is there a keep, like a bar keep?
Yeah, there's a bar keep.
Stick like reaches over and he pulls out just a single boot and he sticks it on the counter, and then he just points at like a bottle. He's like,
The barkeep, you've been here many times. The barkeep knows. He goes, the regular, and he pours it directly into your boot. All right, but yeah, so Nelson goes over and starts. People start drumming up, talking to Nelson, and the artist is like, "Who's that guy? That guy's pretty rad. Why? Where was he at?" And Kismet's like, "That's Nelson. He used to be one of mine. What's funny is he was terrible. He was always the worst when he worked for me. But now, guess he's some sort of a badass. I don't know. People say he's good. I don't know. I still don't see it. But he was one of my guys for a while. But don't worry, we got Stick. Stick's gonna kill Fortnite for you."
you see Stick's over there like kind of in the background, and he does the thing where he licks his eyeball.
All right, man. Let's see how he feels with this. He's cautious. He now sees a much cooler dude in the bar, and he's like, all right, guys, good vibes from you, man.
He already paid
go.
for the job. So.
Yeah, he's already into the money anyway.
He's in a row peacocking, and he's like,
Mistakes might have been made.
Roll a perception for me.
Okay. Better?
Oh, I rolled right out.
A 14 total.
All right, you do see as he gets up and he pretends to walk out the door, but he like sneaks and joins the group of people who's like talking to Nelson. But you've already been paid, so at that time you hear a large like out into the public, and Kismet's like, oh, okay, whatever. Stick, come on, and you guys
Stick
walk
just
out.
goes running past it.
You guys walk out into the main lobby area. Same with you as well, Edric. You were already out there. You were helping with the caravans. Chelsea's out there helping with the caravans. Gucci, were you after the meeting? Where were you kind of heading after the GLU meeting?
Probably back to my chambers here. And
Back here, yeah. So there's actually a secret passage from the GLU building into the back of your.
Right next door.
Right next door. So there's actually
it's still an underground tunnel though.
It's hard to see in 2 dimensions, but there's a clear defined like wall here
Okay.
that separates the shops and things from from the castle.
Could have walked like 10 feet.
But you do have a little secret passageway in the back that you had commissioned that allows your shop
That's
to
why
open.
the city has no money.
That level of extravagance is what is befitting a member of the GLU.
Once again, the GLU has extravagant passageways from the kingdom to their shops. The Artists Alliance has 15 gold between all of them.
and a president that never shows up.
And a president who is laughed out of the room on every day when they call attendance, or every meeting when they call attendance and they don't show up, is laughed at. So you are in your shop. You hear the horns. It is, you guys would know that the horns are an official decree. So basically, like, the king's going to make a public announcement, like, please come to the kind of general area. Asior, you would be in your tower. Do you want to, you're still getting ready. Do you want to come down, or are you still just kind of getting ready in your tower?
I'm gonna get ready in my tower, and I'm gonna just, once I hear the horns, I'm gonna move over to the balcony and just watch from there.
Okay, so you're kind of on the balcony. You're kind of still in the stables, Troy. You can hear it,
You want to
but
give me a timetable? And then just kind of awkwardly left.
Shouldn't go out in
so did you eat the soup? Is the real question.
I did. I did. It was better than I was expecting to get at this stage of my life in this situation.
It wasn't hay.
It wasn't
hay.
Yeah.
Did you? Yeah. Did you garnish?
I dumped it on the hay and
I've been working with cilantro. So.
You actually you hear the horns, but there's a knock, and in walks the horsemaster with 4 horseshoes
Yes.
and a groom brush,
fun.
and he's just like, hey, Troy.
Yeah, Grandmaster.
Hey, I heard. I'm so sorry, man. We're all here, still rooting for you, buddy.
As he's talking, the horse is kind of making small movements,
little canter.
yeah, little canters, back and forth. I'm still trying to get a hold. I don't have complete control of the horse. Maybe I
feel like this is one of
maybe
those-
75 to 80%.
Okay.
It's one of those very let's get this over
Yeah,
with.
Yeah, he's definitely like,
Yeah.
all right, let's see if we can make this happen, and he begins to reshoe you.
Yeah.
As he
This is
goes.
such a funny concept. Oh man.
So
As he gets to the brush, I start
so you guys enter.
in front of him.
Aldrin Kismet takes you out of the tavern into the main square. Edric, you're already there. Asir, you're on the balcony. Gucci, you're in your shop, but you definitely are in the area.
I was just counting my money, and I think I'll probably hear the
Yeah.
horn and be like, ugh. Kind of in the middle of a count, I'll scribble something down, and I'll kind of walk out from my
Yeah, you're very
Fine
large
little
sums of gold.
horse. Yeah.
You see, it's hidden. You kind of hide behind your tanneries and in your leathers, like the large sums of gold behind your crafts. As you walk out, so the king, there's royal decree. Please, your undivided attention for King Rufio Dandario. And King Rufio walks out. And he goes, hello, dearly beloved.
Asior's just like,
One guy. Hey. He goes, all right, my good and faithful subjects of Dandaria. It is I, your king, on this auspicious day. I know there is a lot to be done. The caravans are almost ready. We will soon be departing. I've heard from the quartermaster in about 1 hour's time. I wanted to first address those brave soldiers and citizens who are on this caravan ride. You do this on behalf of not only yourselves, but the people of Dandaria, and the hope is to make it through in great numbers, to plow through whatever might be set up ahead of you, and get through out of the forest to alert other nations to our help and bring back Dandaria or Faustonian armies to help us defeat this witch. As long as one of you brave people achieve this quest, we win! Huzzah! And I'm gonna roll for him. Natural 16. People are kind of like, okay, yeah, the king, yeah. But definitely kind of a hushed cheer as people are like, oh God, we're probably gonna die.
Many of you will die, but that is a sacrifice I'm willing to make.
Essentially.
More fun.
Yeah, thank you. The king then continues, for anybody brave enough to vanquish the witch on this travel, I have been given a bounty of sorts to bring this witch down. We will provide 15,000 gold, a large sum, or a large plot of land outside of the walls. We don't have any inside the walls, but outside of the walls, we will build a favorably large building into the forest for you, and I will give whomever the proposition to marry my daughter. And you see, as this young woman, the king's daughter, she's been, she's pretty well known. The king and his family are well known, and she steps onto the balcony and just kind of waves. She's very unhappy about being like used as reward, but she,
Stick from atop Kismet's shoulders, like sitting on. Is very excited.
Edric's looking at his cigar supply. It's like they could probably use that.
The king then continues, all right, 1 hour. I bid you adieu and safe travels. As he walks back in. So as the king walks in, 1 hour later, you are brought forth after your reshoeing, brought amongst the caravan. The gates are opened. Asior, I assume you eventually make your way down.
Yeah, I'm slowly, very slowly making my way down.
You get
I
down.
have a red carpet that I roll down the stairs.
Is it a
not the
mage
zip
hand?
line.
Yeah, not the zip line. I actually started to remove the zip line.
I like to think that the zip line might have been like someone like cleaning the side of the tower, and they're hanging from that like a window washer.
You make your way down, and you see they have provided 2 carts for you, one for you and all of your students. All 8 of your students.
Yes.
As you all get boarded onto your carts. Gucci, your 4 carts are ready. Filled with
Naturally.
supplies. You have a few citizens. You guys see, actually joining you is, as well, is the good doctor, Patrick Brown. Dr. Patrick Brown, who's part of the GLU. He's the alchemist leader for the Alchemist Guild. And he and his bugbear assistant, this big brawny bugbear, is like loading these crates and things into this one cart.
What was his name again?
Patrick Brown. Dr.
Patrick?
Patrick Brown.
Doctor.
And you guys begin off on your journey. And that is where we're going to leave it for this episode of Disenchanted Forest. We'll see if they, what happens on the road. It's a long road, 1 day's travel out of the forest. Join us next time.
Yeah.
You did all right? You did a little better. Join us next time on Disenchanted Forest.
Woo!
Real quick, and we'll just grab the ambient sound of the room for editing purposes. There you go.
Fucking David just started undoing guns.
They got me.
Yeah, that's what got me. He made eye contact and just went.
The silent sound of the room is David laughing.
Once again, cameras are pointed at you at all times, and we are.
We're filming.
All right, since we are filming. Disenchanted Forest, take one. We'll just do B cam, C cam.
See you later.
All right.
Hello.
Are we set? Are we ready to?
Starting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I believe so.
I think so.
I think so.
Oh God, this is happening. All right.
You are ready.
All right. All right. Let's. Are we? No, you're fine. You're fine. Are we ready to go?
We can fix
Huh?
it.
Sure.
She's directing.
I've given Stick so much grief. You might as well get something. All right.
Did you get the boots?
What?
Did I get the ring?
You get the rig. You don't get the boots. All right. Are we ready, everybody?
Yeah.
All right.
I think so.